You don't have to buy a backlit keyboard. Take this Dell branded keyboard for example. Backlit. You can do this for $10 or less. Welcome to Tech Tuesdays. So the only thing you need for this project is some glow wire, which looks like just an ordinary wire until you power it up with this driver circuit. You can see the wire glows. First thing we have to do is disassemble our driver circuit. So mine was really easy. You just take this one small screw out in the back and the whole thing comes apart. Remove those batteries and take that screw out. All we need is this tiny driver circuit, which should come out pretty easily. And for the final preparation of this small circuit board, go ahead and desolder the two power connections, because we'll be adding some wires and powering it through the USB out on the end of the keyboard. First thing to do is to remove the back and save these screws. We will need them later. And the back should hopefully just come right off. If it doesn't, there are some tabs, plastic tabs along the edge, and you can pry those off with a screwdriver, but be careful not to break them because it will then be hard to put the keyboard back together again. Then we drill a hole into the other part. This is also for the screw. There we go. And then you can just screw that on there. But the next thing you're going to want to do is carefully figure out where this button is and drill a hole for that button to go through as well. Next we're going to resolder some new power wires. And we just want to stick these wires into place. So I ended up deciding to mount it on the outside. I had a little bit of a problem with the fit, but the keyboard like this, there's the button right there that you can just hit on the back to turn it off and on and off. And I mean, it's a pretty flat fit when you keep the feet up. It is flush with the table. So it is not impacting the use of the computer keyboard. Now we need to get the next layer off this grounding plane, and we've got to take a look underneath it to see how we can wire up the lights. So I took the whole keypad off and I took some keys out and I'm drilling holes here to wire it through the numpad, and then I'm putting a hole out here to go out, and then another one up here, and we're just going to go across the rows of keys. Not going to hit the function keys, and I'm not going to hit these because the primary keys to use are these and these over here. So you just got to keep working it in. You can see it's already in over there, and I've got the first row up here. You can decide on how you'd like to wire it up. Found the easiest way to do it is to take off a section of keys right here, lay the wire flat under it, and then snap the keys back in the correct order. So, and then you just keep taking out more keys from this side. Right here, and you work your way around the keyboard. Alright, put the last key into here, and the next step is to wire this up. So, to do this, we're going to have to rewire the keyboard. So, keep this wire trailing out. The key is to get this to stay out when we put our covering back on. So, as we can see, if I put the cover back on, you can trail that out of the corner, and if you push on this, you should not lose function of those keys. That's important if you like the keys in the corner, that you can still push on it. So I would just, make sure that when you close it up, those keys still work. Alright, so now, if we flip the keyboard back over, keep in mind we still have this wire trailing out. This is the power connector for the backlighting that we just installed, and the back of the keyboard has the power inverter that we're going to wire into the power supply coming from the keyboard's wire. We can type on it as normal. So, as long as all the keys are working, you want to test, I would test each one individually and make sure none of them are stuck or anything. You can use a screwdriver to push the wire under the key if one of them gets stuck. And then we're going to flip it back over. And now the driver circuit here, we had a couple of wires on this. We have this one that we know plugs into the power supply that goes out and plugs into our wire here, and we have these blue and green wires here. I'd recommend using a different color. I know blue is positive, so I'm going to wire blue to my USB positive. If you don't know which side is positive, I'll post a schematic. You can look based on where the pin is in the USB socket, and then it corresponds to the pins on the other side. Alright, there we go. The back is back on. You can see